Hello, this is Neil Sheth.
And I'm Katie Holmes, and this is the British Chamber of Commerce Dubai's podcast, Don't Do That, Do This. We're bringing stories of growth, success, and some lessons learned from our membership for you to apply to your business.
Today's guest is a 3-time Olympian, Sarah Lindsay. Sarah is the founder of Raw Fitness, the only London and Dubai-based personal training gym that offers clients an Olympic-style training experience.
It's a brilliant podcast for anybody that's looking to get back into health and fitness, and also learning about her story moving from London to Dubai. Please follow and subscribe us for all of our episodes, and thank you for your support.
Let's do this. This podcast wouldn't have been possible without the following teams. Rightfully for storytelling and thought leadership, Studio Red for the quality podcast studio and video production, and Sherbet Lemon for branding, social media design and editing. Sarah, so good to have you here. We're excited with many questions.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So let's start here. Now, obviously the podcast is all about you, but I'm going to start with me. Because 2 days ago, I've started recently this boxing fitness class every Wednesday. And I absolutely hate it. Football's my thing, but my football friends have gone home over the summer, so I had to do something to keep the fitness going. Absolutely hate it. It feels like torture. You know, there's some boxing, there's some burpees. Absolutely hate burpees. But at the end of it, I feel amazing. I feel like a new man.
Okay.
And I tell my wife that, like, for 2 days at least. I'm even feeling the pain right now.
Yeah.
Then it comes to about Monday, Tuesday. I'm like, I really don't want to do this. And I push myself. So there is a question here.
Fun.
How do I keep this
Momentum.
this interest and momentum to go? And
so how long have you been doing this?
about 6 weeks.
So for 6 weeks, you have been going back every week.
Yeah, I guess so.
So let me point that out for a start.
Yeah.
So you are motivated. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep going back. And although you're telling yourself you don't like it, it sounds like you do. You know, you're remembering how
That's
good
true.
it feels afterwards. And, you know, you release these endorphins and you feel really good when you've done it. So they say it takes 12 weeks to really ingrain a habit. So if you can just stay motivated forget motivated, maybe disciplined enough to go for 12 weeks, then it should just be easy.
Okay, that works for me because I work on targets. So I just need to get to the 12 number.
Get to 12 weeks. Yeah, you're halfway and you're still going. So, you know, you sound like you've got it under control.
That's amazing. Amazing advice.
I think some before or after photographs would inspire you. Certainly following Raw and
not putting
Raw's
that
success. No, not yours. Looking at other people's. So from my perspective, and it's so great to finally have this time to get to know you a bit better as well, Sarah. I've been stalking Raw on Instagram since you got here, and your famous wall of before and after photographs is so inspiring. So what was the idea behind that?
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Yeah, we have a wall of fame, if you like, in each of the gyms, which is just client successes. And it's a very small percentage of people that actually are happy for their pictures to be used, obviously, as well. So it's just really the people that say yes and that want to. And you want as many different people as possible so that as many different people are represented as possible, because people look through those before pictures. They think, who do I look like the most? What could I look like at the end? And obviously everybody's body is different. So that's not, necessarily the right way to think about it. But all you needed was people to look after you and show you really how it's done, because people don't know, especially when it comes to weight training. I think everybody knows that they should weight train now. We've, made that shift at least, and everybody knows that they should, but a lot of people still don't know how and are nervous and they find it very intimidating. So I think helping people through that first stage is really key.
Okay, and what's your demographic then? Who's coming to the gym?
So generally it's people, we have a really big range, actually more so here. So we have the sites in London and we have also here in Dubai. And here there's, I think, a bigger age range, funnily enough, because I think Dubai is generally that sort of, sort of 25 to, sort of 55 kind of age that people are coming here to work and that kind of thing. But we have people actually here much younger and then people much older as well. So we do have a bigger scope. We have more women than men. I think we're about 70% female at the moment. I think some of that just comes from me being the face of it and me doing things like this that gets people to see it. But yeah, as far as age goes, I'd say for women, there's a lot of women around menopausal age because their body's changing and they don't know what to do, where before they had, things that they could do that would make the difference. But now it's not quite working the same way. So they feel like they need that extra help. So yeah, a lot of our women are around the 50 mark, which is nice.
That's nice. And what's the story behind Raw? So going from winning at the Olympics and starting the business, can you just take us through that journey?
So when I retired from sport, I think as a kind of natural progression, I'd qualified as a personal trainer actually when I was 20 or 21, because every season we get 3 weeks off. So we train all year, every day, and then at the end of season after World Championships, we get 3 weeks rest. And in that time, I was doing my personal training qualifications, and it was a 12-week course. So I spread it out over 3 years. So I was already qualified. I did the strength conditioning program for the national figure skating team. So I was looking after those guys. So I really enjoyed the coaching side of it. And then I just started working in a gym, learned my trade, spent some, time on the gym floor with lots and lots of different clients, because training general population is very different to training a 17-year-old ice skater to improve their jump rotation by 3%, So yeah, I learned what I was doing. And then I just thought, I think we can do this better.
What's the magic ingredient, if you're able to share them? What does a typical week look like for a client on the program with Raw in Dubai and London?
So people sign for 8 to 12 weeks, and then our job is to get them from A to B, whatever that is. Obviously, the goal completely led by them in that time frame. So, like I said, we have an expert in each area taking care of everything. So you have a movement specialist, you have your nutritionist, and you have your trainer. And then me and my partner, our eyes are overseeing everything to make sure everything's running really smoothly. So for the client, they'll train 3 times a week for 1 hour only. People think that to get in shape, they have to train every day and they've got to do, 10-mile runs and train every day and eat really strict. And that isn't how we do it. You have to work out a nutrition plan that works for each client. Everybody's different, their lifestyle, likes, dislikes, food restrictions, gut problems, hormonal issues. There's a whole myriad of things that can come into play. So it has to be individual. It has to be bespoke. And then we have regular check-ins. So every 3 weeks, the client meets with the nutrition coach again, gets remeasured. You see how the body's responding to the program so far, and then you can progress it. Then you can update the program, progress the nutrition plan to make sure that people aren't plateauing. And that's a really big part of this. It's really key to make sure that people aren't just doing the same thing and not moving forwards. So that's where, we have to step in and shake things up potentially. But yeah, make sure that we get the job done.
So talk about moving forwards. You launched in London. You've got 2 branches there. Why Dubai?
We always wanted to go international. We always thought, where could we go abroad, just for our own adventure as well, And we looked at a few different places, and we ended up spending time here in lockdown. It's the only place you're allowed to go, really. We jumped on a flight and we were sick of London at that time. And we spent some time here and just fell in love with the place. And then you realise how many people you actually know, how welcoming Dubai is, how helpful people are. It's really quite amazing. People mean it. In, other places and, London, for example, people will promise things or offer things and then never follow through. But here, people say, oh, come to this, or let me introduce you to this person. And I've got the link for that. And they mean it. And, they invite you and you go. And to network in Dubai, I found so much easier. It takes years and years in London. But here, it's here for a few months. And the people that you want to get to or that you want to get hold of or ask questions, you're one person away. It's super fast. So I really enjoy that side of Dubai.
It's really fast.
The common theme, really, isn't it? So quite a few of our guests have been new to Dubai from the UK.
Yeah.
And they say that, especially obviously from a networking group being the British Chamber of Commerce Dubai, is that we're seeing people regularly throughout the programme. And we feel it. We feel that there's a real buzz at the events. People are genuinely kind of paying it forward with referrals, and there's definitely that community feel. And then when we hosted an event in London, we've had 2 events in London this year now, the venue hosts and the people that live in London were just saying, this feels different. So yeah, we're bringing Dubai to the UK, but there definitely feels that. And it's after 12 years, I feel like, am I just imagining it? But people genuinely, they remember being helped and then want to help the person next to them. So it's good you having that experience.
It's a very positive place as well. You know, if you think half the people here are on holiday, so there's always that sort of very happy holiday feeling that's happening. And the sunshine, you go to the beach in your lunch break. I mean, why wouldn't anyone be happy?
Yeah, actually, a few days ago, I got introduced to a really large company, their CMO, their chief marketing officer. And the guy that I met, he plays golf with the CEO. So he said, he goes, this sounds brilliant. Let me introduce you. I didn't even ask for the introduction. That would have never happened, like you said, in London. So just to go slightly personal on the financials. So starting a gym is not cheap. Yeah. How did you fund it?
So we wanted to do this by ourselves. I didn't want to take outside investment, and didn't want anybody else influencing the product or the brand or what it was. So we really scraped together the money. We borrowed, and we did it on as much of a budget as we possibly could. Painted the walls, laid the floors, got stuck in as we could to reduce the costs. And we ended up pulling off a really lovely looking space. And, we had no signage, and it was quite private. So actually this kind of helped with the people that were coming in and the fast growth of it. And the reason we got so much press is because it was quiet and there was no signage and people didn't know where it was. And it felt a bit like a private members, if you like. We ended up having people in the public eye. And if it's safe for one person, it's safe for the next. So they all shared that. So we ended up having a gym with lots of big names in, and they'd post and talk about it. And then that got in the press. So we were in the press every single day. And after 8 months, we were so full, we had to expand. So then we started looking at other sites. We were set on Kensington because I wanted to do West London. So we had East and West covered. And that lease took a very long time, took 3 years actually to finally get in. And we did another one in the city in the meantime because we needed a bigger space. So we took an old bank building, so very grand and looks amazing. It's my favourite building, actually, that one. From the outside, it looks very cool. The raw signage is the same as the bank. So I did it in the same style, same lettering and everything. So that's quite unique. And then Dubai.
And what was your first step to expanding to Dubai? Because you could launch the gym anywhere. I'm guessing it's not cheap. And then there's a number of things you have to consider when it comes to trade license and rules and all of those things. It's not as, I would say, especially if you're living in London, it's not as straightforward as the UK when it comes to that.
Different. So some things were much quicker because actually we didn't really plan this. So it was all very quick because, like I said, Kensington took 3 years to get open. So I think it was a 2-year lease negotiation in the end. And here we looked at a few sites and, sort of tried to learn the areas. And we put an offer in on the first site that we saw, actually, because that was our favourite. And they accepted. So it was like 2 weeks we had a lease, and it's like, oh, actually, you can't back out of this. You have to do it here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, maybe you're not going to be taken seriously if you look at other sites. So it's like, well, I think we're ready. Let's just go. And then it's like, right, what do you have to do to launch a business in Dubai? So it wasn't very well planned, to be honest. And we had to sort of pick up our lives and move and say, oh, we do need to live in Dubai. Right, let's go. So it was a real upheaval.
Oh my God. So you're moving yourselves, your partner, and over here, as well as starting the business.
Yeah. And we didn't know we were going to do that.
You're still bootstrapped, so you still funded the business yourself.
Yes, absolutely. We've never taken investment. So we've just basically, we wanted to keep it ours for as long as possible. And we do get lots of offers, and, there's lots of big ideas and things, but I'm very protective of what we have and I care about it so much. It really is. And I walk in every day and I'm so proud. It's such a nice feeling. We've compromised nothing. The product is so good and the feedback we get from people is so incredible. I just don't want to lose that. It's very important to me.
A lot of that, I'm sure, is to do with the people around you. So could you tell us a little bit about did you poach kind of internally to bring the best over to Dubai for a transition period, or how did you hire?
I offered it out to my team. So we have the London team, and I said, who wants to go? Because I wanted to give those people opportunities. I have real loyalty in my team and people that have been with us right from the start. And I really wanted to start with an A team here. I didn't want to take risks with people I didn't know. And like I said, I like to reward from within. So we try to always promote from within. And I always give those people the opportunities first and try and coach them through that to be able to do the next roll up. And yeah, we were really lucky. We had, some brilliant guys who wanted to come over. And it's been a huge change for them, but they are absolutely loving the Dubai life. So they're very pleased they've made the move.
Good. And did you have to scale quite quickly? Because I can imagine the demand once people found out you were here, and the reputation from London and your famous clients as well, which we can come on to some of the ones you can talk about later. So what was your hiring process here? Because it's quite a candidate-rich market at the moment.
Yeah, and there are lots and lots of personal trainers in Dubai, and we have a very slow hiring process. And I just wouldn't take the clients on until we have the person in place. So I don't mind the slow growth because I know it will grow. So I'm happy to do that way. And, there's a 4-stage hiring process. We have a lot of people that come through each other. The trainers get to know other trainers. And that's, so we've got a little bit of an insight into who they are and what they're doing when they come for interviews. But we're very lucky with our reputation and the brand. We get lots of people apply. So I don't really have to go hunting. And I said we go through these different stages, and if people make it through, then we nurture them. Everybody has to get trained through the way that we do things at Raw, even if they're 10 years experience. You can have a PhD. I don't care. You need to be able to do what we do in house, and most importantly, you have to be part of our team. We all work so well together, and that contributes so much to the feeling on the gym floor and the atmosphere, which again is something that people really do crave, somewhere they feel comfortable and confident and free to exercise and not worry about what other people are thinking. And that's something that's very hard in gyms and something that we've definitely nailed.
I think that transfers to all business as well. I mean, we have members in the chamber that focus purely on onboarding, because exactly what you've said, that is a critical stage and has a huge impact on the running and brand of your company. And then obviously your clients are becoming your ambassadors as well. So they're out there talking about their success. People, and also the great thing about your product is people look better. So they're just a walking advert.
Oh yeah. So I've never paid for marketing.
Yeah.
People just walk around talking about it, and people will ask people what they're doing. And when you do something like this, it's so positive. It's not just about what you look like. That ends up being a really small element of it.
Yeah.
You're giving people confidence.
The feeling inside.
Yeah.
It's that feeling inside, yeah.
Give somebody confidence and watch everything change, every decision, every thought they have. The first thing they think in the morning is different about how they get dressed or how they look at themselves, and then how they speak to the next person, and then how people respond to you. So everything changes around you, and, you don't necessarily pin it on this, but it's, I think, from being strong as well, not just getting in shape and looking good, but being strong and having physical capabilities and physical confidence transfers over into the rest of your life 100%.
It's interesting you say about that, because body image is obviously a big topic for all children, male and female children. I've got 2 daughters, so whenever I'm quite sporadic, I must admit, when I do ever approach exercise. Mainly I'm quite time poor, which I know is a terrible excuse. But when I do go into that pattern, and as Neil said as well, and I love it and I can feel the difference. But when I'm talking about it with my daughters, I'm not trying to lose weight. I want to feel stronger. So can you give us any ideas about the language that people should use and talk to themselves, and even kind of where they should start? Because I know in the pre-brief we started talking about calories versus actual exercise. So the floor is yours what's your view? Cut through all the information.
When everybody comes to get in shape, I say everybody, most people come to get in shape and they want to look better, and they don't know that that's what they're going to get from the gym floor. They don't know that they're gonna gain all this confidence. So I think focusing on performance is what I try to do. So most people are thinking about trying not to eat. Everyone's just trying not to eat and trying to do more exercise. But where does that really go? You can't just exercise all day and eat no food and just be tired. just to try to lose weight. And it's not the smartest way of doing it. It's a very short-term fix. So when people start to get into the training, especially with weight training, you can see the numbers going up, you feel yourself getting stronger. That can be quite addictive. So you eat for performance. You know, if you want to train hard and you want to perform and you want to lift that next weight, then you need to make sure that you're fueled for your training session. So you eat for performance, you eat to recover from your training session so that you get the most out of that training session. Underlying any nutrition plan, optimal health has to be the most important thing. Your body won't change if it's not healthy. So the healthier your body is and the better all your cell processes work and absorbing your nutrients and that kind of thing, then you're going to have a better response, whether that's to lose body fat or to gain muscle or to gain strength. And then eating to recover, like I said, and then you can think about the other side of it, you know, the aesthetics and stuff, because the body will already be going that way. So then later on, when it's, you know, if you start to plateau a little bit with as far as the physical results go, you can start looking at what you can tighten up. But having something positive to focus on and a reason why you are eating something, the point is you're supposed to try and get as many nutrients in as you can. And you can't do that if you're eating 1,000 calories. You know, you need nutrients for your body to function well. So that's what you should be focusing on, I think, is trying to get the nutrients in, trying to avoid as many chemicals and processed foods as possible. I think that gets you into a different mindset. And like I said, a far more positive one than just trying to be thin.
Yeah, I like the focus on growth and performance as opposed to cutting away.
Yeah, and people don't care about that at the start. You know, they come in because they're not feeling good and they want to get in shape.
Yeah.
But then when they start to make progress, then they get the bug. So people that do this never stop. People always weight train. They always go around telling everybody that they should weight train because the benefits are so huge.
It's funny, is it like the CrossFit cult? That's what people always talk about it, but actually it's quite purely just people are really enjoying the way their bodies feel and but a bit of envy in there as well.
Yeah, this is talking to me right now. So, how do you how do you take your mindset and approach to performance, fitness, the physical, and then how have you translated that to business? Because I'm sure a lot of that applies to business.
Yeah, of course. And I think the biggest thing that came from sport and from being an athlete was the resilience. You know, in business, everybody has some horror story and there's lots of ups and downs and, you know, you make mistakes. You don't know what you're doing. Who's an expert? You know, it's like as soon as you do a new business, even if you've done plenty before, you're going to make mistakes and maybe this one's not the one. But so I think the resilience is a huge thing. And I think it's one of the reasons that a lot of small businesses fail, not because they're not good enough, but because it's tough and people give up and it's not worth the stress, which I completely understand. But, you know, you just have to keep taking one step at a time, keep pushing forwards. If you believe in your product and believe in what you're doing, then it will succeed. It's just, you know, how quickly. Is that saying? I'm going to say it completely wrong because I've forgotten. I'm just say it off the cuff. But, you know, a winner is a loser that got up one more time. You know, people fail and fail and fail. And then you just see the success. People just say, oh, this thing popped up out of nowhere and you've done this amazing thing. And, you know, it happened really quickly. It's like, no, actually, I trained for 20 years as an athlete and, you know, I developed myself. And then to get to here, I mean, I retired in 2010. And, you know, it's a long time of actually the whole process.
They don't see the constant downs and ups and downs and ups and then suddenly up. But they only see that, right?
And I think that's the same with almost any business. You just see this end win.
The shiny win.
But you don't see all the losses along the way. So I think, I mean, resilience is always a big thing. And I think, like I said, I've always been quite good at keeping my emotions on ice and being very practical. And when things go wrong, just thinking about how to move it forwards and how to fix things. I don't dwell for long.
And just to go on a bit of detail on that. So moving to Dubai is a big step, moving the business and yourself, and then launching the gym, still funding it all of yourself. How did you get your 100 customers? You know, our audience are small businesses, medium, large, who are expanding out to Dubai, thinking about it already here, and customer acquisition and growth is very important. So what did you do to get from 0 to 100?
Focus on the product. I would say we are always thinking about how to improve it and make it better, how to how to deliver more for the client, and, you know, giving people more and more value. So that for me, if that is the best it can be and you're proud of that, then you're happy to push it. And if the clients are happy, they will tell people. Like I said, we've never paid for marketing. It's all word of mouth. Everybody brings somebody, every single client has brought somebody along with them, if not several, because, you know, it changes them and changes their life and how they feel about things. So they want to share that. And that means that you end up having a really strong community because everybody's kind of linked. You know, it's not just random people from all over the place. So I think the more you deliver in-house, especially when you're new. So Raw isn't new, but we are here. We came in cold. You know, we didn't have clients ready. We did that completely from scratch. We don't have signage. You don't see us from the road.
And it's highly competitive.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a huge industry over here, but I'm very confident that nobody delivers what we deliver. So people come to us from, you know, say our competitors, but other offerings that are similar, and everybody comes to us and who have come from those places and is amazed by what we do. I know I feel like I'm bragging now, but
No, you must. You've done incredibly.
I am very proud. And the team, what the team do on the gym floor and how they look after people is really, really special. You know, everybody knows everybody's name. Everybody talks to each other. It's very welcoming when you come through the door. You're being expected. Reception know that you're coming in and, you know, gets you your drink or your coffee and, you know, chats to you and stuff while you wait. And you usually train at similar times, so you end up knowing people on the gym floor who are training at the same time as you and people that are coming in and out on the crossover and that kind of thing as well. So it's just such a lovely...
I do not get any of that at the classes that I go to. Maybe that's why. That's why
There you go.
I feel like it's torturing me. But
yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe, you know, a bit more of a smile would help.
Yeah.
Do you have any expansion plans for Dubai? When you talk about East and West London, what's your plan for Dubai?
I really want to do another one in Dubai. I'm taking my time. I'm not trying to rush this one because I think there are so many. I'm keeping my eyes out. I'm looking at different properties the whole time, and I'm not doing it because, you know, I need to do it tomorrow, or we're desperate, or we're so full I don't know what to do. I want to get the right place. I want it to be in the right area. So yeah, taking our time, but I do want to do another one in Dubai before we move on elsewhere because I'm really enjoying the time here as well. So we've looked at Singapore a lot, and I think there's a very a definite one that we'll do. But yeah, I'd like to do another one here first. So I'm looking at properties in Singapore, but more here to start with.
One of my favourite article titles that I've seen recently was, and credit to your PR agency potentially, Romance and Revenue. When it was an article, Entrepreneur, I think it was, and it was relating to the fact that this is you and your partner's business. So it was talking about your, it was talking about the growth that you'd had, but as also working together as a partnership. Would you mind just sharing a little bit of insight into how that works and how long you've actually been working together for?
Of course. Well, we started this together. So we were working at the same gym when we met, and I think we both bring something different to the table. We have different strengths and weaknesses, 100%. And when we started, we both did everything. So, you know, we literally every single element of the business, we were both all over and spreading ourselves quite thin. And I think we soon learned what our strengths and weaknesses were, what he could do much quicker than me and what I was far more comfortable doing. So we started to sort of develop our roles quite early on. And I mean, I can't imagine not working with him. You know, you have this common passion and this thing in common that you both really care about. It's not like you ever run out of stuff to talk about, and it isn't work. You know, it's not like we're just talking about boring work, because this industry is fun, you know, and our brand is fun, and we work with our friends and family and people we care about and stuff. So I think, yeah, I find it really, really easy to work together. We don't argue about things. We don't agree on everything, but we respect each other, we listen to each other, and we take on each other's opinions, and we sit and think about things and, you know, take a step back sometimes. But we always come back together and make a decision. We have our COO in London, who is a very big part of, I mean, she runs everything now. You know, I wouldn't do anything without, you know, consulting her first. And although we make the decisions, I have to run everything past her because she knows the business like it's her own. She treats it like it's hers, and she's so valuable. She's so special to us. And like I said, I've got, you know, my brother is head of nutrition in London, so, you know, I work with him. Actually, somebody who just left recently, which was very sad, but he is moving into a different industry now. But somebody that I coached as a teenager who was an ice skater. So we've worked together for 20 years. So, the people within the team I care about a lot as well. So I think we both feel very strongly about that. And the whole thing does feel, it's kind of cheesy, but does feel like a family. And, it's just me and Richard, like mum and dad.
It's a real family business.
Yeah, for sure.
It's nice.
With the theme of don't do that, do this, is there any advice that you would give to anybody that's either looking to move to Dubai or starting a new business or even changing careers? If there's anything that you would impart?
I mean, I'm a bit of a risk taker. And I think you never regret making those decisions. I think sometimes people just think about stuff for so long and overcomplicate things and never actually take action and never actually get anything done. And to be honest, sometimes that's just down to your personality, and it's very hard to change that. But maybe sometimes people just need to take that leap. If you believe in it and you think that you're doing the right thing, trust your gut and just go. Because I do think that people just don't move quick enough, and then they wish that they had. So yeah, I think that's something that I'd always encourage in people is like, just take that step. You've got to start doing it. You can plan forever, but if you never move forwards, it will never happen.
So you're saying, don't think about doing this, just do that.
Yeah,
basically.
I'm twisting this
renaming.
We're rebranding.
Yeah,
right?
shame. Sorry.
Do that. Yeah. But this has been such a great interview, and I know we've been speaking for a number of months to get you on, so really glad you're on there. You've got a great story. Really wishing you all the best with your future gyms in Dubai or UAE, MENA, wherever you plan to expand to.
Yeah, definitely. And the client testimonials speak for themselves. So I would definitely advise anybody just to have a good look on your Instagram. It's quite addictive. I will make it one day. But no, it's really lovely to meet you. And thanks so much for your time and coming today to the podcast.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me.